Hey everybody, my name is Sky, this is Amanda, and we are going to talk today about the secret to healthy desserts. We both have ebooks in the bundle which is on right now. The bundle actually ends tomorrow. So it's about to end, so you want to check it out. I will put the link up, but there's 32 contributions. There's the plant creations by Amanda. You've got my beauty ebook. You've got my simple recipes. You've got a course by Dr. Doug Graham and Chris. You've got Lissa's books, Nate's books, so much there. I'm going to drop the links now. But hey, Amanda.
Hey, yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for having me on. And I'm very glad that I was able to get my book done in time to join this bundle with all of you guys. So, yeah.
So am I. So am I. Oh, I think I've kind of ruined that one. I'll repost that. So I love talking to you. It's been a while since we've spoken.
Yeah.
What's new for you? What's new for you?
Yeah. Just been, I got this the book was a little bit of a last minute join, but I'm super glad I got it done. And I was in the vegan health bundle a few months ago, and then it got brought up with Lissa that, it was possible to join this one. And so I I was like, I haven't created a fully raw ebook until now. So I was up for the challenge to get it done in time. And yeah, it was a busy couple months, but I got it in just in time. So
I love
yeah.
that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Um, So I keep kind of ruining putting this on the screen. So I did not know. So I see all your amazing desserts on TikTok, on Instagram. And how do you come up with them? You've got a Pop-Tart recipe I'm going to try and bring up in a second.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've been creating, healthy raw treats and date sweetened desserts for many years now. I grew up with a big sweet tooth, and when I was eating the standard American diet, a lot of processed food, a lot of refined sugars, and so when I started changing my diet about over 8 years ago now, um, I wanted to find some healthier ways to make treats and things that I used to enjoy, like Pop Tarts and brownies and cookies and things like that. And so I just started getting really creative in the kitchen, and I really started to get passionate about it and showing people that, you can still enjoy these decadent treats and savory recipes too. Like, I don't just make desserts, but I do love doing the desserts, and I love showing people that you can eat healthy in a fun way, and it doesn't have to feel restrictive. It doesn't have to be too difficult or boring or bland, which I feel like a lot of people think when they think of eating, plant-based or being vegan or eating raw foods. They think
Look at
there's the
that,
Pop-Tart.
guys. There's the
Yeah.
Pop-Tart. And I saw Lisa created it. It looked great.
Yeah. Yeah, I was super excited to see that they made those, and, that's definitely one of my favorite recipes in this book. I grew up eating Pop-Tarts and, ate them all the time, and so I've wanted to make, like, a raw vegan version for a while, and so I thought this was the perfect time to do so, and so those are my wild blueberry Pop-Tarts. I'd like to now that I made those, I wanna make some other flavors for sure. I wanna do a strawberry one and some other flavors. Those were fun to make.
So this is amazing. And I think I just noticed that the people in the community that do raw how they want, or I know you're high raw and include a lot of raw foods, seem to be happier, stay on a healthy diet. And well, it's all about enjoyment. Like, I love the recipes. I also saw, is it a pad thai? I wanted to
Yeah.
do your pad thai. I think I'm going to run out of time, but that was a recipe I saw and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that one uses kelp noodles. It's like a raw pad thai
Wow.
dish, and that one's really easy to make too. And um, yeah, there's a lot of so this book does have desserts and savory recipes as well as a lot of smoothie recipes in there. Um, yeah, that's the raw pad thai with kelp noodles, which kelp noodles I had never had before, until trying this lifestyle. So um, one tip for people that use kelp noodles, I would say to soak them with a little lemon juice and baking soda because that'll
Yes.
really help soften them. Because otherwise, you're gonna try. The first time years ago when I went to go eat them, I was like, I didn't know that trick, and I just soaked them in just water, and I was like, this texture is off. Like, what's going on? And
Yes.
yeah,
It's like it's so different. I've had people go, it's like styrofoam.
yeah,
It's like so disgusting. And I'm like, no, you have to cover it in water, put a bit of baking soda, put a bit of lemon in it. It does its raw
Yeah, it
cook.
gets so soft. Yeah.
Does. And they're nice and springy and chewy. And they're so high in nutrients, minerals. You got your iodine. This
Yeah.
is what raw is all about, right? It's all about getting nutrients in these
Mhm.
beautiful, fun ways.
Exactly. And I love that, that's what excites me a lot about raw food is the creative, like you can get so creative with it, and that's what I love doing. But it's also you're also nourishing your body at the same time and getting in the nutrients and the enzymes and the minerals and all that your body needs. So that's what I love
Yeah,
about the raw foods for sure.
I agree so much. So what are some of your other recipes in your plant creations ebook?
Yeah, some of the other ones I really like, I have a raw cinnamon roll in there,
Oh yeah.
and those are really easy to make, just sweetened with dates, and I made, an almond butter cup pie, and that was a few
What?
extra s
Sorry guys,
the
I'm not ignoring you. I'm looking off
the
here through her book
no, you're good.
as we talk.
That one was fun to make. That one was inspired by, when I went to LA for my birthday last year, I went to Wild Living Foods, and they had an
Yes.
almond butter cup pie there, and I had it, I was like, "Oh my god," I was, like, mind blown how good it was, and I was, like, inspired to create my own version, and mine's a little
Guys,
different. They're not identical, but yeah, it was really fun to make.
guys, look at this. I ate so much of the savory at Wild Living Foods that
Mhm.
I never got to the dessert. Um, look at that almond butter cup pie. Look at this. I'll bring up another picture. And it's all raw. Like you're going to get nutrients. Because I
Mhm.
do think it's really hard when we first go raw. Well, I think it's easy. I get so excited because you finally feel good from the food or high raw or whatever you or plant based or you decided to go.
Mhm.
But a lot of people when they come from that mind of lack and they think they can't have anything, but you can have pad thai, you can have pop tart, you can have what do we have buttercup almond buttercup pie, um, and feel amazing, right?
Yeah, for sure, and that's what I love about showing people through my recipes that, you don't have to feel restricted. You can still have the similar textures and flavors that you enjoy and make it in a much healthier way, in a way that's going to nourish your body and make you feel more energized rather than because a lot of people, if you go and eat a traditional like pie or even Pop Tarts or cookies or brownies or pasta dishes, you're not going to feel great. You're going to feel bogged down. For most people, you're going to feel low energy. Your body's going to have to work really hard to digest it. And when you have the raw foods, your body, it doesn't have to work as hard to digest it, but also you're getting in the hydration, you're getting in the enzymes that are still in the food intact. So you're not destroying it from the high heats. And so you eat and you actually like food is supposed to give us energy. It's not supposed to make us feel bogged down and tired and sluggish. It's supposed to give us energy and make us feel, like we wanna go do things and we wanna move our body, and that's another thing that's very important to me is movement, and I think it ties in well with the raw foods because the more that I, over the years have eaten high raw and flooded my body with nutrition, the more I wanna move my body and get out in nature and exercise and do all these other things that are so essential for a healthy body because it's food is so important, but it's not just the food. And there's so many aspects to a healthy lifestyle, but I think starting with the food is so important and it's just a good way to, you know, because we eat every day. So if you start with the food, you're naturally going to start making healthier changes in other aspects of your life too.
Of course, and we are the food, right? So we become that food,
Mhm.
which is very physical. Like I know exercise is moving the body and it can help it build, and fresh air and sunlight are kind of like, well, they're not as dense, but the food, like us, is dense. And when you can understand that you become what you eat, like I
Mhm.
feel like when I healed, all those things I'd heard my whole life, all those simple principles were actually true. Like you are what you eat. Make sure you get in enough greens. Have you been out in the sun today? Go play outside. Like all those like old wives' tales.
There's truth
And
to that. Yeah,
go
who would have
figure.
thought?
They've lasted eons, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so much truth there. You are what you eat, and the more that you eat, it goes both ways. The more that you eat the raw foods and the greens and the fruits, the more you're going to crave that and the easier it's going to get. And your body, you're going to build that microbiome that craves those things and can break those foods down. And the other way around is if you're constantly eating junk food and processed foods, that's what you're going to crave. You're not going to want to go eat a kale
Yeah.
salad. If you're living off McDonald's, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to get a kale salad today. And like your body too is not, you don't have that microbiome to digest that. And so a lot of people think, oh, we're not meant to eat all this fiber, or we're not meant to eat these raw foods or something like that because they can't digest it, but they don't have the strong gut microbiome to do so.
I I know I can live on just watermelon for a month or two. Yeah, there's but here when it comes to like mono fruits and things is I think they're great for meals, but I always say to people is spend more time practicing. And I saw Don say it earlier. He still needs his steamed vegetables. And I think that's great. You don't even ever have to even let go of those. But don't be like, I want to get somewhere and just skip everything you're trying to get to, because really we want to get to the next 40 years on a raw diet. We can't do 40 years on watermelon. So there's no use
Right.
practicing watermelon, right? It's great for a full meal, or yeah, if you want to do it for a few days, if there's a great watermelon season, you have enough. But essentially you want to practice what you want to become, and you want to become, a lot of that variety. And, I think that's important. But I think what might come up for people who are new to a raw diet and want to have more healthier desserts in their life, what are the sweeteners, for example, that you use when you're creating?
Yeah, so all of my desserts are refined sugar free and they're all sweetened. Most of them are sweetened with dates. I love dates and they're, in my opinion, nature's candy and they make a
I
perfect,
agree.
natural sweetener. And they're very, there's a lot of nutrition in dates as well. I'll use bananas to sweeten things and other fruits. I'll use, pure organic maple syrup sometimes to sweeten things or coconut sugar. But I try to stick to dates is definitely my staple. And I actually
Yeah.
have another book called Want a Date because I love dates so much. And it's that one's all date sweetened dessert recipes and that one. So yeah, dates. And again, dates are something I had never even had before, which is so funny because I grew up eating, tons of sugar, candy, cookies, all kinds of processed stuff. And I had never even had a date before. And so when I was making these changes and trying new foods and I tried dates, I was like, wow, like these are so sweet naturally. And there's so much you can do with them too. If you have a food processor and a good blender, like there's so much you can do with them. And I've made desserts for people before and they've tried them and they're like, wait, this is sweetened with dates? Like, how did you get it to be this texture? Like, what did you do? And I was like, I explain it and they're like, oh, wow, that's actually really simple. Like, I could do that. It's like, yeah.
It is. That's actually something that's just coming to me because my niece, she's quite young, so she's been eating raw food that I make, certain raw foods like nice creams and chocolate desserts, and she loves the veggies and some fruit and some juices. So she eats a lot. She eats a lot of fruit. She's tried durian when she was 10.
Oh, yeah.
So she's been doing that for a while, but she sees on TikTok all the videos come up and she's like, Auntie Sky, will you make me the chocolate truffle balls, please? So I end up making my chocolate truffles, which are in the bundle as well, she's had my chocolate donuts before. And I know you have a chocolate donut recipe
Yeah.
too. We're like donut queens. So I made her the icing. I made I reshaped them because a lot of it's texture, the truffle into cupcakes and then put the icing on top. And she's just, I think, sent me a video of her trying them. And we'll find out when I post it if she did like it. I hope I've said that. I hope she liked them. She usually likes that type of stuff. But
That's so
this
cool.
idea that like there literally are dates in it,
Mhm.
and if you showed her the date, because of the way her lifestyle is, it overwhelms her. It's confronting. It's confusing. But you put it in the recipe, she loves it. Like
Mhm.
she really loves the food. And there's a comment here also that's really funny, Don, about I want to be a badass. We all want to be a badass. That's why we do raw food. Um, so the kefir in conjunction with strategically injected prebiotics for a procreate a system that overrides our cravings. The whole idea about this is we're not overriding anything anymore. We're actually living like we're designed to live. The mistake is that you can have a crappy diet or half good diet and then override things. Like it doesn't work. It just
Mhm.
just find these like beautiful foods that make you
Yeah,
feel amazing.
instead of overriding, we're more so resetting to what we're naturally supposed to
Yes.
be. We're just resetting our system and our taste buds to what we're naturally supposed to be feeding our bodies. Yeah.
That's and when you it's such like I feel like most of my health journey was actually looking for something to override. Like it was constantly, what is this pill? What is this surgery? What is this tablet? Who is this doctor? When you act, I feel like raw whole foods coming to them is when you're ready to face the fact that there is no shortcut. Like it's
Mhm.
you have to face yourself that you need sunlight, movement, good whole foods,
Yeah.
low stress, good sleep, spirituality, and living your purpose, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, there's no quick fix. There's no, people want a quick fix to just, they don't a lot of people don't want to put in the work or make the actual lifestyle changes that you need to do to sustain. I mean, it's a lifestyle. It's not like a 30-day diet or a quick fix or, something like that. And there's so much, like you mentioned, all the other things aside from the food that you just have to have that foundation of and have your why of why you want to do these things for yourself and have that self-love and cultivate that and pour into yourself, and no one's going to do it for you. So,
That's right. So what was your why? I mean, I think the why can change and evolve and get bigger. But when you first knew you needed to change, what was your biggest why?
yeah, I would say um I it's a couple things, but I would say one, I grew up watching, family members deal with health issues and struggle with their health and be on medications and, struggle with their weight and certain things. And I just want to do what I can to prevent, that those things from happening to myself and do what I can to put the odds in my favor of being as healthy as I can for as long as I can. And so that's definitely part of it. I did struggle for many years with migraines and painful periods. I would get sick a lot. I had acid reflux really bad. I would have to take medication for that for a few years when I was in high school. I had really bad acne when I was like, I got into college and it just got really, really bad all of a sudden. And that kind of was like an alarm for me of like, what's going on? And so that was definitely, I got to the point where I just didn't know where to turn. I had tried a bunch of topical, creams and facial washes and all these things that are marketed to you to say, this use this to heal your skin and heal your acne. And nothing was helping. And then I went to the doctor. They had suggested, oh, we can give you, hormonal birth control or a strong antibiotic for your skin. Like that's all we can really do. And that didn't sit right with me. And I just didn't want to take a pill to just mask the symptom. And so I was like, you know what? There's something causing this. I want to get to the root cause of it. I want to figure out why my skin is having this issue, why this is happening. And so I dove deep into research on gut health and how that is directly tied to your skin health and your whole body health, and gut health is everything. And so I'd never learned any of this. And so I was like fascinated by it. And I realized, wow, I've been living off of, mainly processed foods and fast food and junk for so many years. And I'm like, I need to start cleaning up my diet and cut out other toxins in my environment as best I can with the knowledge I have. And so I, did that and it was, not a 180 change overnight, but I slowly made these changes. And I had that why of like, I want to pour into myself and I want to be as healthy as I can. And I want to get to the root cause of my skin issue, heal my gut. And, I didn't know how long it would take, but I knew that I wanted to do it naturally. And so, and then I started getting creative in the kitchen at the same time of really enjoying that and wanting to show that to others and, inspire others to do the same and realize how powerful their bodies are. And then as time went by, I started noticing very drastic changes in my skin and things were clearing up and I had more energy as well. I, got off my medication that I was taking for the acid reflux. My migraines went away. My painful periods completely went away. Um, and so many other things that, I know are directly correlated to the changes I made with what I was eating. And so, and through the years, I've sustained this for the last 8+ years, and I've only gotten more passionate about it and want to inspire more people. And I don't try to force my lifestyle on anyone, but I try to lead by example and show people that, there's so much you can do and you're so powerful if you just make the mindset shift and and have that why of why you want to, you know, love yourself. And everyone should have more self-love too. And I feel like I didn't always have that self-love. And once I started taking care of myself, that's really where that came to be as well.
That's such a beautiful story. And you changed so much and you did it so young, which I think is really,
Yeah.
really
Thank you.
inspiring. It
Thank you.
really is. So, and you fell in, I think the love, you know, when someone's in self love because they've fallen in love with everything that's around them in their life. And that's what it's about, like the decisions you make, the people you choose, you know, the way you smile each day. You really more love, like I feel like love is what heals, and the raw
Mhm.
food helps us love. Whole foods help us love. Good choices, sunlight, movement. Um,
Yeah.
so
So powerful.
it is. So I saw somebody say, which I think the complete opposite, raw food isn't sexy. I have to say, and I don't even eat a huge amount of fruit. I would have to say fruit is probably the sexiest food I know. I don't actually know one better. I actually feel the sexiest full of fresh raw foods, and confident in my power, hormones more balanced, me more balanced. So it's yeah, I don't think that's true at all. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. I definitely feel my best when I'm eating all raw or very high raw, especially a lot of fruit. Um, and it just makes me feel lighter and more energized and just more confident and just better overall. So yeah, and yeah. So I would have to disagree with that comment.
I think it's like I actually think so.
It's the
Somebody actually,
opposite.
it is, but also ancient art doesn't paint beautiful women in different eras with stakes. They're painted with grapes or watermelons.
Exactly.
They're painted with
Exactly.
peaches. They're painted with flowers, with raw, with fresh things. And people
Yep.
aren't painted. Then you don't like. I remember this woman with pasta all over her face. Yet if you saw someone with fruit all over their face, they'd be like, "That's very sexy." So.
Yeah, I would have to say like the ultra processed food and the fast food and the animal products. That's not very sexy.
Can
Sorry.
you imagine if they look back at this era and there's a really unhealthy person eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and pizza? That ain't sexy. People aren't going to go, that's sexy. And then the other story to that is someone was doing some research on all these famous people, which you see with the perfect picture eating a piece of pizza or eating a bagel or something. And she's a well-known a whole food plant-based chef, and she reached out or did some research on what they're doing, making in a day while they're working with these famous people. They're
Yeah.
eating mostly plants, not even a huge amount of, even if they are eating meat. So
Yeah.
it's that is a delusion. That's as
Exactly. And the raw food, I mean, when people are on the raw foods too, you see they have like more of a glow to them.
oh,
They're,
they do.
completely compared to someone who's living off of the standard American diet or ultra processed food or, there's totally a difference there. Like,
There is definitely, it's definitely. And when you say gluten is a problem, so it is a problem. So it's not in the raw food kingdom. Like it's not something that people are going to eat, that I'm aware of. You can't eat any foods because oats don't have gluten, do they?
no,
They,
no.
yeah, no, they don't. Some
Yeah. So
people with
gluten,
gluten allergies react to certain proteins in oats, but there's no gluten in it. So it once again is when people say this is a problem, that's a problem, it's not really there. And then when people say, oh, what about oxalates or oh, what else have I heard? Let's say just oxalates for now. I'm like, the whole point of eating variety and growing a microbiome is we're not just eating oxalates every day. You cycle through different plants at different times, and the body's ability to process things. And people who get kidney stones due to any stones in the body due to oxalates usually already have a gene, and it wouldn't have mattered if they ate any oxalates in any food, even in small amounts, they will turn into stones because of this gene. And Dr. Brooke Goldner says about oxalates, you don't see people, she goes, I don't see people coming into emergency with too many green smoothies that have got stones. She said, I don't see it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't come in because they're eating too much fruit or, you don't see that. It's like you ate too many bananas. Like
No.
no.
So, uh, let me see as I go down here.
And the thing
Love
with
is,
gluten too, I'd say gluten is an issue for a lot of people, but also the glyphosate that's sprayed on the the gluten and the wheat and all the
Yes.
products, like the glyphosate is poisoning
Yes.
us.
Yes. But isn't this about most health? People love to, whatever the media, or there's some hype word that people will like build up is like the whole story. And usually, if you dig in, it's like, no fruit gives me acid reflux. No, what gives you acid reflux is the meal you've eaten before the fruit, because people eat it after dinner, but they never think of
No.
that, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's not the gluten. You can't digest the protein, which is the gluten. I'm not sure what the proper term for that
Yeah.
is, but there's a certain protein or amino acid that you can't break down because your body's full of poison. Like, it can't do its
Yeah.
job.
It's like, yeah, it's not the fruit you ate, it's the fried chicken you ate before that. And you had the few berries and you thought it was that
That's
set
what
you over the edge.
Lisa tells the story of how long it took her to get to a raw diet, because she kept telling herself at the end of the day, she's like, oh, it was those berries. Oh, it was those something. She goes, I didn't take into effect that I was eating like a bag of cashews a day, like it wasn't the nuts. She's like, because she kept trying to do raw, and she's like, I couldn't get on it. And I kept getting to the end of the day being, all that berries are coming back up. Or she'd say some fruit is, she goes, and then finally I was like, well, why don't I try low fat,
Yeah.
like high carb diet? And she's like, and I haven't looked back. And what is it? She's, I think, 12 years now.
Yeah.
So I think I also believe, in my opinion, these are like soul lessons and spiritual blocks where you can tell a person the correct answer, but they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it takes some time. But that's why, as you said, you like to lead by example. Be the light.
Exactly. Yeah, I think a lot of society like demonizes fruit and is so scared to eat fruit, and that's just so backwards to me because like it's fruit is one of the best things that we can eat in my opinion. And there's so many, it's not just apples, bananas and oranges, like those are great, but there's so many varieties of fruit out there and like that we don't even have access to in a lot of parts of the world, but fruit is so incredible because it's full of hydration, it's full of fiber, vitamins, minerals, like enzymes. It's just I don't know. I feel my best when I'm eating not only fruit, I eat a lot of other things as well, but when I eat very high fruit, like especially in the summertime, and um, I feel like that's definitely one of the like people need to eat a lot more fruit in my opinion and not be scared of it and think, oh, it's had too much sugar, like I can't eat fruit.
Yeah, I almost think, on a philosophical point here, that the reason that fruit seems so scary, and that, greens or veggies even seem safer, is because the planet is just in such a vibrational density that if you just start eating fruit, the brain and body know the effects it would have. There would be an adverse effect before there was a positive. Though I think you've got to slowly add. Plus, also, if people are really toxic, they're going to crave bitters more than they are fruit at the start,
Mhm.
because their bodies are going to have to get the squeeze on the liver to get some
Very true.
help
Yeah.
with the detox. So I want to try chocolate pudding fruit. Oh, I've tried it. It's good. Sapote, black sapote. It's definitely good. So I was going to ask Amanda about some other tools that you use when you're creating your healthy and raw desserts. So we've spoken about the sweeteners that you choose to use, which are especially dates. Well, all the fruits, you've got all the fiber with the sugar. But what are some other tools you use when you make anyone that's just joining, you make your Pop Tarts and you make your cake that's from looks like it's from Wild Living Foods, like that?
Yeah, I would say
The
definitely a
almond.
good almond butter cupcake. Yeah. Um, that one went real quick. A side note on like keeping it raw. When I went to, because I had to make the almond butter cups, and when I went to melt the chocolate, I was like, oh, I gotta keep it raw. So I gotta melt the cacao butter in the dehydrator, which took a little bit longer, but so that added to it. But it was fun. Um, but yeah, for definitely, I would say to get, if you're interested in this lifestyle or, want to make these recipes, you're going to need a good food processor to make most of them. And that's where you can really get the good textures with the, blending up the dates with other ingredients and kind of form them into whatever, shape that you're going for there. And then also a high speed blender. I have a Vitamix. You don't have to have a Vitamix, but just a good high speed blender that you can use to blend up things with the dates and with like the filling for the cinnamon rolls. I use the blender to make the date cinnamon filling for those, and um, yeah, and then um, I had to use like a just like a rolling pin, like a dough rolling pin for the Pop Tarts and the cinnamon rolls. Um,
Ah, I didn't have that yet. I need to
yeah,
get that.
yeah, to roll out the dough for those. And then a food dehydrator. Those are yeah, those are good. Those are the German
They
chocolate
look good.
cake
Oh, the
bars.
chocolate. Oh
Yeah.
my God, they look so good. They look so moist.
They are. Yes. Yeah, so some of them use those ones don't use the dehydrator. So some of the recipes you do need a food dehydrator, but some of them you can do without. And there's a recipe in there for some coconut macadamia nut cookies. And those I actually tested both. I did one a set in the dehydrator and one set just pop them in the freezer to firm up a little bit. So you can make them whether you have a dehydrator or not, and they're both ways are really really good. But I would say yeah, food processor is key for sure. You got a pina colada and ice cream. I love ice cream.
You know, when I think I actually, so I have a blender and I have a food processor, but I really like the text. I'm a texture person. I really like the food processor, the textures that it makes. Like I like that coarse
Mhm.
texture. And I also find my food processor can make an even better nice cream than my Vitamix at times because it
Mhm.
really whips it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I found that too. I make ice cream in the food processor a lot too.
so where do you think Amanda's from? I'm in America. We only use air fryers. No, that's not true. People use dehydrators. Where are you
Yeah.
from, Amanda? You're from America,
I'm
right?
yeah, I'm in Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
A
out
lot I
there.
mean air fryers are popular, but we don't use just there's dehydrators out here and
It's a must.
Vitamixes and
My Vitamix is a must-own equipment. I feel like my Vitamix in Australia, everything's really expensive
oh
because
yeah.
it's imported. Everything's
Mhm.
more expensive in Australia just already, and then you import it, and then you also change the dollar, so you double American dollar basically. So a Vitamix is a minimum of at least $1,000 in Australia. Yeah. So when because I see people really upset because you can get like I think no, so are some of the other older models, I think 700, but the new models. So when I see people and they're like, at Costco, it's 250, I can't afford it. I'm like, oh my gosh, in Australia, it's like it's a whole
That's
different.
crazy.
Well, Sydney, Australia. Last time they did a survey, which probably 10 years ago now, we were the country which is the most expensive to live in per what we make in Sydney. So it was like a top three. We were up in the top three. So it's really expensive, but it's just we're kind of left down here. So we
Yeah.
made we um but I always think when people put these things up like grilled zucchini and corn, I'm like, you can get really beautiful like marinades, or you can dehydrate. You can put your zucchini strips in and corn and make it a bit crunchy. You could put some maple syrup and tahini on them and make it more like crunchy marinade and use that topped on top of a salad. Like I actually get so much joy from like almost like a challenge when someone puts something out to the universe. How do your creations come to be? I know about the wild living foods and the Pop Tart growing up, but what?
Yeah. I yeah, there's so much you can do with raw foods, and I think too, just thinking of like the pad thai or certain things
Oh,
like that,
yum.
like the pesto. I have a pesto pasta and like a teriyaki noodle dish in there, and um, I just kind of think of meals that I grew up eating and loving, and and try
I
to
just
make.
found this. I just found some
Oh
cucumber.
yeah, yeah. That one, I wanted to make like a raw nacho, and I was trying to think. I was like, well, I can make raw chips in the dehydrator, but not everyone has a dehydrator. So what else could I use in place of chips that would be good? And I'm like, cucumbers. Like I love cucumbers, and I tried it. It was really good with like the taco crumble I have, and the little bit of like homemade guac and cashew
Oh
cheese
my God.
sauce, and yeah.
Because it's
So
hydrating too. So you're going
yeah.
to feel really good because when you get dried chips
Mhm.
with the nacho meat, it's then double dried, right?
It's
But
a
your
lot, yeah. So it's high
content
it's kinda helps balance it out 'cause, you have,
does.
like there are some nuts in there with the cashews and stuff, so, the cucumber, it really helps, like, balance it out and stay hydrated too. So yeah, and then I have a taco salad in there.
Yep.
That's one of my my mom over the years. She always wants me to make that for her, and the taco salad. And so yeah, I just kind of think of meals that I used to enjoy, and then um, if I go ahead.
Did you say you did teriyaki noodles?
Yeah, there's like a kelp noodle
Oh, yeah,
recipe.
there it is. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to love I still enjoy teriyaki. I just make the sauce myself, but I used to always eat teriyaki meals as a kid. Um and then there's salads in there too. There's a good like kale
Yep.
salad with the lemon garlic tahini dressing. I've
Don
been
was
making
just
that.
saying he likes tahini. Don, did you get the bundle? Go bundle.
Yeah, get
Anyone
the bundle,
trying
you guys.
put your tahini with lemon on kale. Actually, I feel a calling to have more kale at the moment. So this looks like something I want to try. Only one more day to get the bundle. We've put both
Yes.
our links below. Go support whoever you want to support and go grab the bundle. Guys, there's 32 ebooks and courses, all brand new, all raw vegan, dessert books, courses. You got my beauty book. You've got spiritual books, aligning chakras books. You've got, I saw there's a yoga fitness book by Lena this year. You've got the Make It Raw 5 book. You've got the Pause Please Menopause book, Raw Recovery by Nate, all $50 worth $1,500, and it's about to end. It's about to end,
Right?
guys.
Don't miss it. It ends tomorrow night. And yeah, there's so much amazing content in there. And you don't have to be vegan or raw vegan to even benefit from it. Like, I think everyone can find value in this. And there's so much content in there. And I mean, the master course that's in there with Chris and Doug Graham, too. That's, the
Oh,
80
no.
10 10 course. Like 17 hours of content there. And I mean, that alone is well worth over $50. So,
Well, that's right, and his masterclass, and so Don, the bundle ends tomorrow, so make sure you grab it before tomorrow. Anybody listening, and you don't get individual books. You don't buy individual books. You get
he said
all the
he's
books.
not buying the menopause.
I know you get a free menopause book when you get
Yeah.
when you get a girlfriend or a wife. You have the book ready. There you go. You're manifesting. You're manifesting. We're helping you.
Yeah, get prepared.
What was I going to say? It's your birthday tomorrow. What a great birthday gift to give yourself.
Yes.
But yeah, sorry, the 80-10-10 course comes with the 80-10-10 book. So you get an extra
Oh,
book.
perfect.
Yeah, so you
The
get
bonus
the Raw
book.
Food Bible in there, right? So
Yeah.
I did the detox course last night or the night before. No, not last night. I crashed out last night. I did the detox course by Dr. Karen and Rick Diener. So I've been getting my course on. So it's worth it, guys. So definitely go check it out. There was something else I wanted to ask you about desserts before I let you go. Before I free you. What time is it for you?
Oh, it's only it's like 8:15
Oh, good. Okay,
p.m.
because so
What time
you're
is it for you?
it is it's about to hit 1:30 p.m. on Monday.
Okay, that's so weird.
It is so
That's
weird,
funny.
right? It's like, but it's really funny because like yesterday's Mother's Day, so I wake up and on social media everything's crickets because and so we're all celebrating, and then our Australia's photos come through, but there's not many Australians that I do follow, right? And all of a sudden I go to sleep and I wake up and there's like a party, right? Everyone's like, it's Mother's Day. It's always a bit behind. It's like, been
Yeah.
there, had that,
You're in the
guys.
future. You're living in the future.
I am. I am. My wife will. Your wife will slap you. So you already have a wife. Oh, sorry. We don't want to manifest anything extra. We don't want to manifest your problems. So that's sorry. But yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah, because I never know if I'm speaking to East Coast. So Oregon's obviously West Coast. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting better at this. Getting better.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's something else I wanted to ask you about dessert. So I've asked you about what you use for sugar. Oh, just some general ingredients. So we've got dates and fruits as your sugars. Appliances that you use are food processor and rolling pin, a dehydrator, probably dehydrator trays as well, or dehydrator mats in some cases, and things like that. What are some, when it comes to desserts, some of the ingredients that are very specific to that? Like I saw there was a flour there, oats.
Yeah, oats. I'll say on the oats, like the 1 Degree Organics brand, those ones are raw. So
Yep.
those are the oats that I always use, and they're also tested for glyphosate and heavy metals. Those are, in my opinion, some of the best oats you can get. So I use those and I just blend them into a flour, and then I use the oat flour for, the Pop Tarts and the cinnamon rolls and some of the other recipes in there. I use some of them. I use like raw cashew butter, but you can also use like raw tahini or raw almond butter. Um, there's trying to think. I use like chia seeds and some of them like for the Pop Tarts for like the filling. I use like chia seeds to help thicken it for like the blueberry filling. Um, and to color it to get it naturally like that blue color, I use blue spirulina. So there's a lot of like ways you can naturally color things and make them look pretty and presentable in like raw desserts and stuff. Kind of get people that catch their eye with the colorful colors
Like
there.
parts, which I'm going to bring up again.
Yeah, yeah. Those are really simple. It's honestly just like oats, blueberries, a little cashew butter, a
That color.
little bit of maple syrup, and some blue spirulina, and that's pretty much it for the ingredients wise. And then yeah, you just got to get the rolling pin and the dehydrator and the blender.
And put it
Definitely,
on.
I'm excited to make some more Pop Tarts, some other flavors. I have some ideas for those.
It would. Now, what is your favorite dessert, raw dessert of all time, even if it's not in this bundle or book?
Oh gosh, that's tough. I would say I've had some really good ones. I don't know if you've ever been to Peace Pies in San
I
Diego.
have. I
I've had some
have. I don't.
really good ones there. I've been honestly, I know I already brought it up, but the Wild Living Foods that almond butter cup pie there I had it on my birthday too, so it was more like exciting. I like got it on my birthday, and it was
Oh,
um that was really good. I was like, this is so decadent. This is crazy. Um, but out of the ones that I've made, I would probably say maybe my raw brownies or raw cinnamon rolls. Those are up there. Like for my Want a Date book, there's a few in there, like the raw brownies. I've been making those for years, and those
I
are
remember you telling
a
me
lot
about
of
that.
a lot of people have tried those and really seem to like those. And yeah, but there's just it's hard to choose just one, but they're for someone who's always had kind of a sweet tooth for sure. But yeah, there's just so much you can do with raw food, and I'm excited to just continue creating more. And I'm already thinking of ideas for next year's raw bundle. So yeah,
Yay! I
yeah.
love that. All right. Well, I absolutely love talking to you, seeing you again. Oh, is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
Um, I don't think so. Just, make sure everyone check out the bundle and don't miss out. And like I said, it's brand new content every single year. So once it's gone, it's gone. You can only get it, this specific bundle right now. And so next year it'll be completely different. If you got it last year, it was all different content last year too. And yeah, just try to, you don't need to be raw or vegan to benefit from it. Just anyone will benefit from adding more fruits and vegetables into their life and moving their body more, get outside, get in the sun if you have sun where you're at. um, you know, just realize how powerful your body is when you give it the tools to heal. Your body's a self-healing organism. It's healing on its own always, but it's going to benefit you and benefit your body if you're giving it the proper tools and the right foods and all that. So
Yeah.
the raw bundle is a very good place to start.
100% definitely is give your body the tools it needs to heal, and you can do that with desserts and foods that are in the bundle. I saw somebody over my Instagram saying I'm going to buy the bundle tonight. Please know it's about to end. One more day.
Yes.
I think I've noticed even like what happens is people think, and that's why I get excited when I get to say it's about to end, because the people that have been like, I'll get it, I will get it, I'll buy it tomorrow.
It's
It's
like, get it
they
now.
want to end, and then they're like, oh, I didn't know it's ended. Can I still get it? And I'm like, no, you can't. It's gone. It's
Yep.
gone. Forever it's gone.
Yep.
So the links are there, links in our description. Thanks again, Amanda.
Yeah.
And see you later, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys.